and I'm sure that I will go over my time. So I asked President Mays to just give me a little leeway and a little grace.
To wrap up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's fine, to wrap up.
To wrap up. Now, if you want a special order or something, we'll see if we can get you that.
No, thank you. And the charter in second.
For being at these timely meetings that's really, they're not, let me rephrase that, not untimely meetings. That's what I'm trying to say. After working hard, long hours every day, y'all here faithfully. And to answer the question, y'all need to do something, Janelle, with them phones.
Ms. Burns and them voted I'm out of order on a point of information, and here I done gave you grace and mercy twice, and you were dead wrong. Decorum. Decorum. I'm not going to walk on water, Pastor. I ain't going to be Jesus. I ain't going to turn water into wine. But I know one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to criticize bad government.
Ms. Galloway,
Stop talking, Kate.
Ms. Galloway, you stop talking. Ms. Galloway, that's your first warning.
I appeal the decision of the chair. Ms. Fields.
Madam Chair.
President Fields, this is Monica Galloway.
Ms. Galloway, and then, excuse me, who was the second voice?
Councilman Davis.
President
Ms. Galloway, and then Councilman Davis, and someone has a dog that's barking. Could you mute that?
That's me. It's Eva. I wanted the floor.
President Fields.
Okay, Ms. Galloway, Mr. Davis, and then Ms. Worthing.
Thank you.
Ms. Galloway?
I asked a question.
Now, I don't care what Neely tell you, but you ain't coming up here running this. You were done when Jackie Poplar beat you 12, 14 years ago, in my opinion. And if you gonna come up here and talk about me, get your facts right. I'm not a Facebook councilman. I'm a real councilman. And I don't know your position yet.
I will talk with,
Point of order.
What's your point of
information,
order?
excuse me. On September 12th, it was sent to the entire council. I did not realize it as well, and it was sent again today.
okay, thank you.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
What's your point of order?
What did she call a point of order?
And she did a point
Oh.
of, she did a point of order, then a point of information.
It was neither one of them. You had the flow. She should sit there, let her go on the computer and look up folks' taxes. I'm saying stop that mess, because when I start using privilege motions to take the floor, you or anybody else, they up in arms. Stop that, or let it go flow evenly with me and everybody else.
Thank you, Councilman Mays. And thank you for that information.
And I'm here to talk about this economic situation in Flint. Through you, Mr. President, through Attorney Kim, attorney. That's her name, Kim?
That's Attorney Gurley.
Attorney Gurley. What?
Gurley.
Early?
Gurley.
Yeah.
Gurley.
Curly.
Gurley.
Gurley. Attorney Gurley. I'm R.L. Mitchell. And I want to ask you, for the peoples of Flint to know, is it lawful for my Councilman Murphy got an attitude because he ain't getting a nickel of that dope money and all that stuff, and the peoples of Flint, he let the Motown boys come in there last week, and he got up here and walked out, and they talking stuff, putting stuff on, talking about where we should be, and Mr. Murphy went, that school teacher over there ran out and all that stuff in Motown talking that junk, talking block we don't already know. And Murphy, look at him over there shaking his head like bobbling. That's almost it right there.
Now, you were the maker of the motion. You know, we had training. I could have come to you first. You ain't mad, is you?
No, nope,
Well, you know, I'm catching a lot of heat up here,
I'm good.
but I can handle it. You know, I've been toasted and fried and dyed and still standing. Any more separation? Oh, if you treat people right and treat them equally, I talk loud. They don't think I'm humble, but I'm humble. I just talk loud. The Lord blessed me with a deep voice. Get me in trouble sometime. I'm a nice guy until you mess with me. So that's my position. And so I'm watching the council as they demand from the small business and then grin and hee-hee with the big businesses and don't demand too much.
Point of information.
What's your point?
Can you prove that he, ha in somebody else's face?
Mr. Murphy, I don't even have to address that, but I can and will. And that's what they be mad with me about when I say point of information or point order. I'm no different than them. I was making my point. You've been on the council 3 months. It's been council people before you. You spoke on it. I'm speaking council in general. I don't know what you laugh and hee about. I know you walked out on the last meeting and held up the business.
Point of information.
Here we go. What's your point?
Can you prove that I held up the business?
Yes. That's why we're here today. You were part of the ones that broke the
quorum. And you was part of the problem.
Mr. Murphy, that's your first warning. You're out of order. If you persist in disrupting this president when he's speaking and be out of order, then I will ask you to be removed if you don't remove yourself.
I'll appeal the rule of the chair.
There's an appeal to the ruling of the chair. Is there a second? There's an appeal to the ruling of the chair. Is there a second? Ms. Lewis, you want to second it?
I do.
Okay, so there's an appeal to the ruling of the chair. Point of information where he got improper is when he's steady talking. That's the first warning. Because that's a pattern. It's been happening for 3 months with this particular council person. This particular council. Anybody else want to speak on this appeal?
Yes, I do.
You've got the floor.
Thank you. You are abusing your power as the president of city council. You have been doing it since we've been elected. And the difference between me and you is I ain't worried about what you think about me, and I'm willing to stand up for you, and I can swim with the sharks. Your problem is you want to antagonize us if we don't vote your way, if we don't you out here making false statements that you don't know about, you indirectly throwing shots at me. You know what you're doing. You are abusing your power. You are out of order. You've been out of order for a long time. You ashamed and disgrace as the president of the city council. You ashamed and disgrace for the city of Flint. You is a liability to the city of Flint. And I will get up and keep leaving this meeting, and I'll keep protesting this meeting till you I'm going to teach you how to treat me. And you keep on every meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. You keep on trying to bark up this tree, and you want me to go the way that you think I'm going to go. But I never entertain you and your stupidity.
Anybody else want to speak on this appeal? If you vote yes, it sustains the ruling of the chair. If you vote no, you take the first warning off of Mr. Murphy. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Murphy?
Could you repeat the vote again?
I'll repeat it again. If you vote yes, you sustain the ruling of the chair. If you vote no, then they would be voting in your favor that you wasn't out of order.
No.
Ms. Priestley?
Yes.
Ms. Burns?
No.
Ms. Herkenroder?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Mays?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
No.
The vote is 3 yes, 4 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 4 no. The ruling of the chair stands. You've got your first warning. You needed 5. Y'all had a separate press conference away from council to call me names. And the mainstream media showed up in droves. Now, should I call a press conference tomorrow and call you all the names nasty and will they cover it? It ain't funny, Ms. Worthing, because it's illegal. It's against council rules to make personal attacks. And you on record with Ms. Fields attacking the hell out of me personally. Nothing to do with houses for people, nothing to do with lower water rates, nothing to do with policy and law. Y'all made personal attacks. And I want the community to get it, because the last ones talked about me disappeared. Maybe that's God, maybe it's magic. But you keep making your reputation talking about me. and watch what happened. Usually my mom said those who dig a ditch might better dig two because they gonna fall in. So I'm used to y'all. I thought we had a pleasant meeting today, and now we can't get out of it without them attacks. Monica Galloway tried to remove me for whispering to a colleague. That means it's germane when she out of order and I'm speaking on it. That's germane. It's Tito, Jackie, Marlon, and Michael. You out of order. You ain't germane. You out of order. Miss Redhead, you out of order. Do you think it's slick?
Well, we get some help to them because they're going to be going back to court again.
I don't disagree with anything you said, but the issue is the witness protection program hasn't been established yet.
So what is it that you need for us to do for the witness? Because
once the MOU has been signed by Prosecutor Layton, that should get the ball rolling.
So
we can't legally we can't do anything with a witness protection program without the MOU. The MOU is in Prosecutor Layton's hands right now.
What's your point of information?
Then why is Mr. Neely bragging about it on his campaign literature? Can you answer that?
I have nothing to do with politics. I just do my job.
Thank you, Chief.
You're in it too. Politics.
So
This is
it's not to be controversial.
Yeah, this is my priority. I brought this forward. So it's a major priority for me for several months. So I don't need anyone telling me what we need to do to get this established. This was our priority. You and I had a discussion about it.
We did. What's your point of information?
Well, can you tell the mayor to quit bragging about it until you get it implemented?
Point of order.
Thank you. What's your point of order?
This special order is getting out of hand and getting real disrespectful, and this is not pertaining to the finances of the city, this finance committee meeting. And I think we need to move on with this meeting because it's getting out of hand, and we got to sit here and listen to this stuff.
I'm on your special.
I'm just looking at y'all. We dead serious. You canceled a budget meeting, scared of some black folks, and don't want Miss Burns to say black, white. Don't want me to say Democrat or Republican. It's real. It's real. Black folks ain't dumb.
Thank you, Mr. Mays.
So you can do all you want, Miss Fields, but it's a lawyer on the scene. It'll be subpoenas. I'm going to subpoena you if I can. This has got out of hand. Now, why don't you warn that white lady and then get her muted?
Excuse me, was there a point of information?
No, it was a bingo. That's what it was.
You still have the floor.
I still have the floor, and I've been bingoed on by the white person that you're in cahoots with. That's what happened. But you want to mute a black man out the second ward and then condone the ignorance of a white lady.
Dylan, how you doing today? Good. Y'all, any more discussion on this? Dylan, that was a good article they wrote about us. Thank you. Any more discussion? But I'm telling you, I talk to a lot of people and they see it. They name names, they know who's who. I got a call from a guy in Alabama and Mississippi. They know y'all names, they know your personalities, they know how folks gonna vote. And I told him I'd give him a shout out. Pastor.
Point of information, is that Mississippi Dave?
Not Mississippi Dave, it's one call from Alabama or somewhere. But they called me from Arizona, Flint. They've been watching, they know y'all by name.
Miss Fields, I don't know about this council, but I know you out of order. You be interrupting us when we got the floor. It's frivolous. It's premature. It's irrational.
Mr. Mays, you are removed from the meeting for derogatory remarks to the chair.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
Yeah, this is Councilwoman Galloway. I support that appeal.
You've already got an appeal on the floor. I will once again read. If a point of order is raised while an appeal is pending, there is no appeal from the chair's decision on this point of order. There is no appeal on decision from the chair's decision on this point of order.
Point of information.
Please mute Mr. Mays.
But wait a minute.
Please mute Mr. Mays.
Madam President, what derogatory statement and or word did he say that caused you to say that he was out of order?
Ms. Galloway, I'm not going to respond to you. I don't remember.
And you know why? No,
Ms. Galloway, Ms. Galloway.
You said you weren't going to respond.
Ms. Galloway.
You stop talking, Kate.
Ms. Galloway, you stop talking. Ms. Galloway, that's your first warning.
I appealed the decision of the chair.
And I support appeal on the floor against the decision of the chair to give Ms. Galloway a warning.
And so I know the game. People so desperately want to win an election, they'll bring henchmen and people out and give them 30 pieces of silver and 1 coin of gold to sell their soul.
Yeah, man.
And it's illegal.
They were not there. Those are different people. So all black people don't look alike. Those were different women. So when we talk about that, and yes, it did come out that you went home to get your gun. And on the front of that building, it states
Request for
no
information.
weapons.
Go ahead, Miss Dr. Lewis, go ahead.
Thank you. Ms. Burns, where did you get that information from?
And so when we talk about what is safe on the front of that building, it's stated, no weapons allowed beyond this point. It has come back that how did Tanya Burns know that I had it in my purse? She knows who she talked to. She knows. But I'm going to tell you, it is not something when we talk about...
Request for information.
Yes, go ahead, Miss Dr. Lewis.
When accusations are made, we must state where it comes from, because these are serious accusations.
Excuse
So
me,
where?
She's illegally
So
taking
who
the floor.
said this?
Excuse me, she's illegal, because I'm not going to respond to her.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
What's your point?
On Miss Lewis's suggestion, and from your own initiative, over and over, you and Miss Lewis has ruled me out of order for those repeated requests for information. And I want to see what you do to Miss Lewis at this point.
Ms. Lewis was requesting information.
You're not going to warn, are you?
Not for request of information.
I know that's your road dog.
Go ahead, Ms. Burns.
So if...
Okay, so the original motion was to move the resolution AECOM to council, and that number would have been 190-000. All in favor of moving it to council signify by raising your hand or saying aye. Aye. All opposed. So it fails. So it's nothing on the table no more, Mr. Newsom. It's nothing on the table for AECOM right now. Start over, leave, go home. Do whatever. And that's AECOM. There's no more pipe replacement program happening in the city of Flint. And the ones who gonna leave like normal, who don't do the business, we gonna proceed with the agenda and take care of city business. If they all leave, then we'll be lack of a quorum. We used to this. Wow. Every meeting. And Jerry had a stayed, the vote would be 5-5. Order, Ms. Fields. If you leave and leave, we got business here. We got business here. I'll entertain a motion as it relates to discussion item.
No, we have one more resolution.
We got an add-on.